Hiya, how are you doing? I'm Rich. A few people have asked me about this, and so I've decided to do it finally. And that's to come up with a series of short videos charting my progress, successes, abject failures, um, slow bits, quick bits, and God knows what else on the rebuild restoration of a 1977 Aston V8 that I bought 4 or 5 years ago from a guy in Belgium. So I'll give you a bit of background on why I bought it, what happened, and where I am now, and some of the issues and some of the successes we've had along the way. Hope you find it interesting, and if you like this and want to follow me, then please by all means do, and ask any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them as badly as I possibly can. Anyway, bit of background about me. I'm Rich. My background in cars is a potted history, really, so to speak. I started out on motorbikes when I was 16, just a little MT5, and I always messed about, worked on that. Bought it out with a 60 kit, so I've got a massive speed of about 45 miles an hour out of it, although I don't recall telling the insurance company or the police that at the time, because it's supposed to be restricted to 30. Moved forward a few years, and I bought a Triumph Spitfire. It was my first car. There's another lad in university, Adam somebody or other. If you ever see this, mate, I'd love to hear from you. He had a yellow MG midget that his dad had restored for him. Absolutely fantastic car. And I really needed a car to start work for during the summer months. And really gravitated towards the old Minis, and I love them. But they were stupidly expensive and hideous to insure at the time. And then I heard that this MG midget cost about 200 quid or something for this kid to insure, because he'd been driving a few years, and I thought I've really got to look into that. So I bought a copy of Auto Trader at the time, and as you did from the magazine shop, obviously before internet, and there was a red Triumph Spitfire for sale in Southampton, and I went to see it with a bunch of friends, and really, probably, if I'm truthful, I had no intention of buying the damn thing, but the guy let me drive it, and the drive was absolutely fantastic. And that's it. From that moment, I was hooked on classic cars. I had a word with my dad, and more importantly, my mum, the keeper of my funds, and managed to get the money out my national savings account, which has never had any since, and bought this bright, shiny, freshly sprayed Triumph Spitfire for 1,300 quid. I think the asking price was about 1,500, but anyway, I beat him down, and paid in cash. And the drive back from Southampton down the M27 to Portsmouth student accommodation was just an absolute grin on my face. The reason I had any money at the time was, I think, from my student loan. I'd taken it out, but I was working. I was probably one of the few people who didn't piss it up the wall at the time. So that was fantastic. And about for the next 12 years of owning it, from the point where I bought it, giving it to my brother after it falling to pieces on the roadside somewhere out near Ringwood in the New Forest, and then selling it on eBay, really taught me a hell of a lot about mechanicking and work on cars and what it entails. Mostly roadside work involved in keeping the thing running and stopping it falling to pieces on a regular basis. I went through full cell replacement on that, both sides, and regular engine work to keep it running. Learned how to manage and work points, the old mechanical ignition systems. Learnt a lot about welding, fabrication. Rebuilt the gearbox on the side of the M62 one time. When it dropped to bits, I just got into a service station. I carried more tools than you'd really need, but I could actually genuinely rebuild the car by the side of the road if necessary. And that was everything from, as I said, a fault in the gearbox, which I just supposedly repaired, to rebuilding the cylinder head, gasket, on the outside my student digs in Portsmouth and a few other places as well. And from that, you kind of learn what really are quality replacement parts and what's complete shite, for want of a better word, and excuse my Yorkshire accent. But you do get some shit along the way with classic cars as well, especially if you're on a tight budget. So, investing money you have all well and good, but make sure you invest it wisely and invest it in something that will give you your time and effort back, not something that's going to break down 20 miles later because the quality is just not there. So anyway, that's enough for this one, and I'll follow up in a second with the next.